Get ready to rewind your taste buds. Welcome to Food and Drink's Checkered Past, Freaky Origins, Fizzled Trends, and Forever Classics. A culinary time machine exploring the wild, wonderful, and sometimes weird world of food and drink history. We'll dive into iconic brands, forgotten flavors, and the fascinating stories that have shaped what we eat and drink across generations. From ancient spices and medieval flavor preservation to vintage cocktails and nostalgic treats, this journey offers a feast for both the mind and the senses. Prepare to savor the rich tapestry of culinary heritage, rediscover lost tastes, and celebrate the flavors that connect us through time. Let's set the table with the birth of food brands in the 1800s, a time when most people still grew, baked, or brewed their own. As cities grew and technology advanced, commercial foods began to appear, changing how we eat forever. In Poland, for example, the 19th century saw the publication of the country's first systematic cookbooks and the wider spread of foods like kielbasa, which had previously been reserved for the nobility, but now became popular across social classes thanks to advances in trade and technology. This era marked the dawn of branded food and drink, setting the stage for the global food culture we know today. Take Quaker Oats, founded in the late 1800s. Their iconic Quaker Man logo wasn't chosen because the founders were Quakers, but because Quaker evoked honesty, integrity, and purity at a time when food fraud was rampant. Henry Seymour and William Heston wanted to reassure customers their oats were unadulterated and wholesome. Marketing genius Henry Parsons Crowell bought the bankrupt Quaker Mill in 1881 and launched the first national magazine ad campaign for cereal, invented trial-size samples, and put the first recipe on a cereal box. Quaker also introduced the iconic round box in 1915 and was first to offer premiums. Send in a box top and $1 and you get a double boiler for cooking your oats. And what's breakfast without coffee? In 1850, the Pioneer Steam Coffee and Spice Mills Company started roasting beans for the masses. J.A. Folger bought the company and Folgers was born. Even today, Folgers is America's best-selling ground coffee, proof that convenience and consistency never go out of style. But breakfast wasn't always so wholesome. In the 19th century, Kellogg's Corn Flakes were invented by Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, who believed bland foods would curb unhealthy urges. His brother Will saw the business potential, and the rest is cereal history. Meanwhile, graham crackers were created by Sylvester Graham, who thought his whole wheat biscuit would promote moral purity. Who knew breakfast could be so loaded? Moving on to lunch. Campbell's Soup is a household name with a story that goes back to 1869. Their big breakthrough? Condensed soup, invented in 1897 by MIT chemist John T. Dorrance. By removing half the water, cans became lighter, cheaper to ship, and more affordable for families. The red and white can was inspired by a Cornell University football uniform. That design stuck, and with Andy Warhol's help, became a pop culture icon. What's soup without crackers? Premium saltine crackers, first made in 1876, are still a pantry staple, perfect for topping your soup or snacking on their own. For your sandwich, Oscar Mayer has been delivering meats since 1883. Starting with German sausages, they expanded to ham, bacon, bologna, and hot dogs. Their playful Wienermobile and catchy jingles kept them in the public eye for generations. And of course you need bread. Wonder Bread arrived in 1921, bringing pre-sliced, soft white bread to the masses. Its name and logo were inspired by a hot air balloon race that left VP Elmer Klein awestruck. The logo's red, yellow, and blue balloons became instantly recognizable. Wonder Bread was among the first to sell pre-sliced bread nationwide in the 1930s, giving rise to the phrase, "the best thing since sliced bread." During World War II, bread slicers were banned to save metal, so Americans briefly returned to unsliced loaves. Wonder Bread was also at the forefront of food fortification, adding vitamins and minerals in the 1940s to fight nutritional deficiencies, a government-backed effort that changed public health. Another major bread breakthrough is Bimbo bread, founded in Mexico City in 1945. Starting with cellophane-wrapped white and rye loaves, Bimbo introduced fresh, hygienic bread to the market, quickly growing to the world's largest bakery company. Its iconic mascot, Osito Bimbo, debuted the same year, becoming a beloved symbol across many countries. Other important lunch staples include peanut butter, invented in the late 19th century and popularized by brands like Skippy and Jif, which turned the classic peanut butter and jelly sandwich into a lunchbox essential. While Wonder Bread made pre-sliced bread famous, the real revolution came with the invention of the bread slicing machine by Otto Frederick Rohrwacher in 1928, which changed how people bought and ate bread forever. And let's not forget Hellmann's mayonnaise, which hit New York shelves in 1913 and quickly became a sandwich staple loved by millions. Now let's sweeten things up. Cadbury, founded in 1824 in Birmingham, England, started with tea, coffee, and drinking chocolate. John Cadbury's sons, Richard and George, turned the company into a chocolate empire. They created the first Easter egg in 1875 and built the Bournville Village for their workers, emphasizing social welfare and ethical business. Cadbury's Quaker roots influenced their commitment to fair treatment and quality. In the U.S., Baker's chocolate dates back to 1764, making it the oldest chocolate brand in America. Dr. James Baker and John Hannon began importing cocoa beans to Massachusetts. Baker's became a staple for home bakers, with its German sweet chocolate inspiring the famous German chocolate cake. Hershey's entered the scene in 1894 when Milton Hershey brought affordable milk chocolate to the masses. Inspired by chocolate making machines at the 1893 World's Fair, he gambled his fortune on building a chocolate factory in rural Pennsylvania. His Hershey process was a closely guarded secret and gave his bars a unique tang. Hershey also built a model town for his workers, complete with schools, parks, and housing, a rare act of corporate benevolence at the time. Don't forget that European chocolate legends, Lindt and Sprungli in Switzerland, famous for their smooth conch chocolate since 1845, and Ghirardelli in San Francisco, delighting chocolate lovers since 1852. And for a quirky candy, there's Necco wafers, created in 1847, one of America's oldest candies. Oliver Chase invented the first American candy machine to make them. These pastel discs were so durable, they were shipped to soldiers in the Civil War and World War II, and even Arctic explorers packed them for energy. The brand went out of business in 2018, but public outcry brought it back. Sometimes nostalgia really does win. Now let's quench our thirst with some legendary drinks. Coca-Cola was invented in 1886 by Dr. John Stith Pemberton, a wounded Civil War veteran searching for a morphine alternative. His original formula was a medicinal tonic containing cocoa leaf extract, which is cocaine, and cola nut, which is caffeine. The switch from alcohol to sugar syrup came when Atlanta enacted Prohibition. The name and logo were invented by his bookkeeper, Frank Robinson, who had beautiful handwriting. Pemberton sold the formula for a modest sum before his death, never seeing the global phenomenon it would become. Pepsi followed in 1898, originally called Brad's Drink. It became Coca-Cola's chief rival, constantly innovating with new flavors and marketing campaigns. Dr. Pepper actually predates both, debuting in 1885 in Waco, Texas. Created by pharmacist Charles Alderton, Dr. Pepper was originally made to capture the scent of a drugstore soda fountain. Its 23-flavor blend remains a closely guarded secret. The name's origin is debated. Some say it was named after the father of a girl Alderton admired, while others claim it was simply catchy. Don't forget White Rock Beverages, founded in 1871. Starting with spring water believed to have healing powers, White Rock quickly expanded into ginger ale, seltzers, and mixers. Their iconic Psych logo and early use of Santa Claus in advertising helped cement their place in beverage history. And for something a little different, Vernors Ginger Ale, created in Detroit in 1866, is America's oldest surviving soft drink. Its unique barrel-aged flavor is still beloved in the Midwest. If you're feeling adventurous, try Moxie, a soda from Maine with a bitter herbal kick that's been dividing taste buds since 1876. It was originally marketed as a medicinal tonic, and it's so iconic that Moxie became a word for courage and spunk. Schweppes, meanwhile, started bottling carbonated water in 1783 and quickly became the go-to for mixers like tonic and ginger ale. Their innovation made the modern soda possible. And let's not forget Faygo, a Detroit original since 1907, famous for its wild flavors and loyal following, especially in the Midwest. Dandelion and Burdock, a uniquely British soft drink, has been fizzing since the 1200s and is still sold today, a testament to the staying power of quirky regional flavors. So why do some brands survive for over a century while others vanish? The answer is a mix of innovation, consistency, and adaptability, all wrapped in a brand identity that resonates and evolves. Jell-O, from kitchen flop to icon. Jell-O's story started when a failed cough syrup maker, Pearl B. Waite, mixed fruit flavoring with gelatin in 1897. He couldn't sell it, so he passed it on to order Frank Woodward for only $450. Woodward's genius was in marketing, door-to-door sales, recipe booklets, and magazine ads, which made Jell-O a household name. The brand kept innovating, from radio sponsorships to new recipes like Jell-O Jigglers, which revived sales by 47% decades later. Jell-O's success? Relentless creativity, smart marketing, and a knack for staying relevant. Kellogg's, breakfast revolutionaries. Kellogg's cornflakes were born in the late 1800s health food movement. The Kellogg brothers' focus on nutrition and convenience turned their cereals into breakfast staples. Their willingness to experiment, launching hits like Frosted Flakes and Rice Krispies, kept the brand fresh for new generations. Nabisco, masters of the cookie jar. Nabisco, once the National Biscuit Company, created legends like Oreos, Fig Newtons, and more. Oreos, launched in 1912, are now the world's best-selling cookie. Nabisco's edge? Constantly launching new products and adapting to changing tastes. Heinz, quality and catchy slogans. Heinz started with horseradish in 1869, but found its stride with ketchup. The 57 variety slogan and a commitment to quality made Heinz a kitchen staple. Tabasco, spicing up tradition. Tabasco sauce, created on Avery Island in 1868, still uses its original recipe. Founder Edmund Bacalini aged peppers in oak barrels and bottled the sauce in recycled cologne bottles, a quirky tradition that's become part of the brand's mystique. Spam, wartime hero, Hawaiian favorite. Spam debuted in 1937 as a way to use pork shoulder, a hard cut to sell, and its long shelf life made it a World War II essential. Today it's a beloved ingredient in Hawaiian cuisine. Other classics: Philadelphia cream cheese, found in 1872, Welch's grape juice, found in 1869, and Ovaltine, found in 1904, are just a few more brands that cemented their place in our kitchens through innovation and smart adaptation. Lay's, chips and cheer. Herman Lay started selling potato chips from his car in the 1930s. His obsession with freshness and playful advertising helped Lay's become America's top chip brand. But not every brand survives. Sometimes changing tastes spell doom, like Beeman's chewing gum, once a favorite of travelers and pilots, disappeared. However, it recently revived and returned with a new flavor focus. Other times it's the competition. Smaller brands like Sunrise Beverages and Smith Beverage Company were bought out or simply faded away. When giants fall, even big names can disappear. Burger Chef. Once a major McDonald's rival, it collapsed under overexpansion and competition, closing its last location in 1996. Howard Johnson's. Famous for orange roofs and 28 ice cream flavors, it was America's largest restaurant chain before fading out, with the last location closing in 2022. Chi-Chi's, a Mexican chain that grew to 200 plus locations, but shut down in 2004 after a hepatitis A outbreak. The Balancing Act, innovation versus tradition. Innovation is crucial, but it can backfire if a brand loses its core identity or ignores new trends. Brands like Quaker Oats and Campbell's Soup have thrived by balancing tradition with fresh ideas. The power of brand building. What do these survivors have in common? Clear values and mission. They know what they stand for and communicate it consistently. Emotional connection. They build trust and loyalty, not just transactions. Adaptability. They embrace new technology, trends, and consumer preferences without losing their essence. Changing with the times. The 20th century brought frozen foods thanks to Clarence Birdseye, TV dinners thanks to Swanson, and a snack food boom, Lay's, Frito-Lay, and Cheese Whiz. Health trends in the 1980s and 90s led to lean cuisine and healthy choice. Fast food chains like McDonald's, In-N-Out, and Dunkin' Donuts redefined convenience and routine. Bottom line, brands that thrive are those that innovate, stay true to their mission, and adapt to changing times, while always keeping their customers at the heart of everything they do. The rest, they become history. But food history isn't just about the hits. It's also full of the weird, the quirky, and the downright bizarre. Take the Victorians, for example. They love fish bladder jam. That's right. Isinglass from sturgeon bladders was used to thicken jams and jellies. Even today, some beers are clarified with isinglass, so you might have unknowingly sipped a pint filtered with fish bladder. Or how about the Romans, who fattened up dormice in special pots and served them as a delicacy at feasts? It was the ultimate status symbol to offer the plumpest dormice at your banquet. In medieval England, Lent brought us the tansy pancake, made with the herb tansy, which is actually slightly poisonous. People believed it was good for digestion, but eventually common sense prevailed and the herb was dropped from recipes, thank God. The Spartans, known for their toughness, ate a dish called black soup, a mix of pig's blood, meat, salt, and vinegar. Outsiders found it so revolting that one visitor reportedly said, "I now know why the Spartans do not fear death." And then there's the open arse apple, Yes, that was its real name in medieval England thanks to its puckered bottom. Eventually, it was rebranded as the Medlar, but for centuries, open arched tarts were a thing. The Romans also loved garum, a fish sauce made by fermenting fish guts and bones in the sun for weeks. The smell was so strong, production was banned inside city limits, but it was a prized condiment. Think of it as the ketchup of ancient Rome. Cock beer was a real thing in England, made by tossing a dead cockerel, or sometimes a live one, and strong-smelling herbs in a barrel of beer. The belief was that the beer would be imparted with the cockerel's strength and vigor. Thankfully, this one didn't stand the test of time. Beaver tails were eaten in medieval England, especially on fast days when meat was forbidden. Because beavers spent time in water and their tails looked a bit like fish, they were classified as fish and fair game for Lent. This contributed to the beaver's near extinction in England, though. Let's talk about some food controversies and oddities that changed the course of culinary history. Poisonous tomatoes. In the 1700s, wealthy Europeans thought tomatoes were poisonous. The real culprit? The acidic tomatoes leached lead from their pewter plates, causing lead poisoning. Tomatoes were shunned for decades before their reputation was cleared. Pineapples as status symbols. In 18th century England, pineapples were so rare and expensive they could cost the equivalent of $8,000 today. The wealthy displayed them at dinner parties as a centerpiece and sometimes even rented them for the night. Lobster for prisoners. In colonial America, lobster was so abundant and considered so lowly that it was fed to prisoners, servants, and even livestock. It was a sign of poverty to have lobster shells around your house. How times have changed. French fries' mysterious origins. French fries may not be French after all. Some say they originated in Belgium, where villagers fried potatoes in winter when fish wasn't available. U.S. soldiers in World War I encountered them in French-speaking Belgium and brought the name home. Others believe the Spanish or even Peruvians were first to fry potatoes. Either way, we're just glad they exist. Chili's ghostly origins. According to legend, the first chili recipe came from a Spanish nun, Sister Mary of Agreda, whose spirit walked across the globe while in a trance, bringing back the recipe from her visions. Whether you believe it or not, chili is now a staple of American cuisine. Conversation hearts. Those Valentine's Day conversation hearts started as medicinal lozenges in the 19th century. Early hearts were much larger to accommodate longer messages like "Don't be jealous" and "I love only thee." Absinthe. The mysterious green fairy of late 19th century Paris, absinthe was beloved by artists and writers, but banned for decades over fears of hallucinations and madness. Today it's made a comeback, with a little less myth and a lot more regulation. MSG. Invented in 1908, monosodium glutamate, or MSG, became a popular flavor enhancer, but was unfairly demonized for decades due to myths about Chinese restaurant syndrome. Modern science has cleared its name, but controversy lingers. Margarine. Invented in the 1870s as a cheap butter substitute, margarine was so controversial that some states required it to be dyed pink to distinguish it from butter. The butter versus margarine wars raged for decades. The 20th century didn't just change what we eat, it revolutionized how we eat. Fast food and convenience dining transformed cityscapes, daily routines, and even our sense of community. Let's rewind to the automat, a marvel that blended vending machine efficiency with cafeteria comfort. The world's first automat appeared in Berlin in 1895, but it was Joseph Horn and Frank Hardart who turned it into an American icon. Their Philadelphia automat opened in 1902, followed by a grand New York debut in 1912. Picture a lively hall lined with glass compartments, each holding a fresh sandwich, slice of pie, or a bowl of macaroni and cheese. Drop in a nickel, turn the knob, and voila, lunch is served. Automats were more than just quick. They were clean, affordable, and open to all. They offered women a respectable place to dine solo and became a haven for office workers, artists, and families. The food ranged from lobster a la Newburgh to classic baked beans, and the coffee, poured from dolphin-headed spouts, was legendary. At their peak, over 40 Horn and Hardart automats dotted New York City, serving thousands of pies a day and fostering a unique sense of community. But the automats sadly faded. Fast food chains, inflation, and the hassle of coin-only machines in a paper money world led to their decline. By the 1970s, most automats had closed or become Burger Kings, and the last one shut its doors in 1991. Still, their legacy lives on in our craving for quick, affordable, and communal meals. Next came the fast food boom. Early pioneers like White Castle and A&W paved the way, but McDonald's changed everything. In 1953, the first McDonald's, with its now iconic golden arches, opened in Phoenix, Arizona. Designed to catch the eye of hungry drivers, the arches quickly evolved into a global symbol of speed, consistency, and comfort. Ray Kroc saw their potential, turning the arches into the M recognized worldwide. By the 1960s, McDonald's standardized everything from logos to menu items, promising the same Big Mac experience in Tokyo or even Chicago. McDonald's wasn't alone though. In-N-Out Burger, founded in 1948, became a cult favorite for its fresh, made-to-order burgers. Dunkin' Donuts, launched in 1950, made coffee and donuts a morning ritual, while Krispy Kreme's Hot Now sign drew crowds for melt-in-your-mouth glazed donuts. Other notable fast food restaurants include Dairy Queen, or DQ, established in 1940 in Joliet, Illinois, which revolutionized soft-serve ice cream, became a national favorite with treats like the Blizzard. Carl's Jr. began as a hot dog cart in 1941 and grew into a West Coast staple for charbroiled burgers. Burger King, founded in 1953, became McDonald's main rival with its flame-grilled Whopper, introduced in 1957 and now an enduring menu icon. Pizza Hut launched in 1958 in Wichita, Kansas, and quickly expanded with its distinctive red roof restaurants and innovations like stuffed crust pizza. Domino's, founded in 1960s, became the world leader in pizza delivery, continually innovating with technology like its pinpoint delivery service that lets customers receive pizza nearly anywhere. Taco Bell, founded in 1962, brought Mexican-inspired fast food to the mainstream with tacos and burritos. Arby's, launched in 1964, carved out a niche with roast beef sandwiches. Subway, established in 1965, revolutionized fast food with customizable sandwiches and a focus on healthier choices. Wendy's opened in 1969, making its mark with fresh, never-frozen square burgers and the iconic Frosty. Popeyes, founded in 1972, brought Louisiana-style fried chicken to the national stage, sparking fierce competition and a devoted fan base. Together, these fast food pioneers transformed dining forever, making quick, affordable, and flavorful meals a staple of modern life worldwide. So, what's the secret sauce for brands that last? Whether they're a fast food giant or a humble pantry staple? First, it's about consistent quality and flavor. People return to brands they trust, whether it's for the taste of a Hershey bar, the fizz of a Coca-Cola, the crunch of Lay's potato chips, or the unmistakable flavor of Kentucky Fried Chicken or KFC's 11 herbs and spices fried chicken. Even as tastes evolve, the core experience remains familiar and comforting. Second, innovation without losing identity is key. The best brands know how to adapt, introducing new products, embracing health trends, or updating packaging, while staying true to what made them beloved in the first place. Think of how Jell-O went from a medicinal powder to a wobbly dessert icon, or how KFC expanded its menu with sandwiches and global flavors, yet never strayed far from its fried chicken roots. Third, smart marketing and emotional connection play a huge role. From the Quaker Oats man to Colonel Sanders, brands that last know how to tell a story and create a sense of nostalgia, trust, and even excitement. The emotional pull of a brand, whether it's the comfort of Campbell's soup or the thrill of seeing a Krispy Kreme hot now sign, can turn a product into a lifelong habit. And sometimes it's just about timing and adaptability. Wonder Bread and Coca-Cola became symbols of their eras because they were in the right place at the right time, meeting the needs of a changing society. KFC, for example, was one of the first American fast food chains to successfully expand internationally, adapting its menu to local tastes and becoming a global icon. But longevity also means weathering controversy, competition, and changing times. Brands like Spam survived wartime rationing and became beloved in new cultures. Others, like Automat, faded as technology and taste moved on, but left a lasting legacy that shaped the next wave of innovation. So next time you grab a bucket of KFC chicken, sip a Coke, or open a can of Campbell's soup, remember, you're not just enjoying a meal, you're part of a story that's been evolving for over a century. These brands and the fast food and convenience culture they help create are woven into the fabric of our daily lives. I hope you enjoyed taking a bite out of food and sipping beverage history with me. If you found this trip down memory lane as fascinating as I did, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more tasty tales, and share your favorite vintage brands and food memories in the comments below. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I post videos, and stay tuned for more videos about fun and fascinating history. Until next time, let's continue to appreciate the rich history and deliciousness all around us. Thank you so much for watching.